Today, I'm gonna show you how to film yourself in 10 easy steps to dramatically improve the quality of your videos. And I'm gonna be doing all of this while shooting on my iPhone. Coming up.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, my name is Nolan Molt with Think Media, and before we get into step number 1, I want you guys to know that I will be using my iPhone 10, but this is gonna work with any camera, any smartphone. All the steps are going to apply to you. So even though we're gonna be using some cheap equipment and a smartphone, you're gonna be able to do all these steps with whatever equipment you have. Let's get into step number 1. Step 1 is to shoot in your highest resolution. So we're gonna jump into the settings here on the iPhone. We're gonna scroll down to camera, and when we open up camera, we have some options here. So for record video, right now it is set at 1080 HD at 30 frames per second. Now, that's pretty good. We definitely don't want to use the 720 HD, but we have the option here to shoot in 4K at 24 frames per second. And that's what I'm gonna be doing for this video. We're gonna get a sharper image, and I'm gonna show you a comparison right now between 4K and 1080. Here you can see that the 4K looks a bit crispier than the 1080, and this gives you the option to crop in or zoom in while editing, and that is going to give you more flexibility in your edit. Another note here is that you can either shoot in 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second, but I am choosing to do 24. Now that that's taken care of, step 2 is to make sure that you have enough space to record video onto your phone. So we all know that the storage gets pretty full on these iPhones pretty fast. So take some time beforehand to dump some of it off onto a computer or to go through and delete old videos and photos that you may not need anymore. That way we can shoot for as long as we want without having any sort of issues. A power tip here is to make sure that your phone or your camera batteries are charged up before your shoot, because nothing is worse than having a camera or a phone die in the middle of your video. This is especially important for me shooting on my iPhone because I'm gonna be using my charging port to connect a microphone, so I'm not able to actually charge the camera while shooting, and so it's important to charge up your phone before your shoot. Step 3 is to find your shooting spot and to set up your camera. Now this is a very important step. You don't just want to put your camera anywhere. You actually want to be intentional with where you're placing your camera, and you want to have a few things in mind. In my opinion, the most important thing to keep in mind here is going to be the lighting. You want to find a spot where the light is coming onto your face instead of behind you. So right now, this actually isn't the best lighting set because I have this light behind me, but I actually have some light here behind the camera that is lighting my face up. We're also going to be using this light right here to help give us better light, but we still want to be intentional with using some window light. In my office right here, I have this big window, and I want to utilize that. Even though I have this light right here, this is a lot brighter than this little ring light, and so I want to use both of them, and using both of those light sources are going to give me the perfect combo. Now our light stand here also has a little mount here to hold the phone, so it's kind of acting as our tripod and our light, and it's just under $60. So if you're interested in shooting on your iPhone and you want to use a setup like this, we're going to have a link in the description, as well as you can click on the card on the screen right now to watch our official review of this light tripod stand. Now the other thing you want to consider besides lighting is going to be your background. So behind me I have my desk here with my computer and some hard drives and a microphone, and that is kind of giving me the vibe that I'm going for, and so I actually want to use that in the background, and that's why I'm going to place the camera right over here by this window so that it's lighting me right here. This is going to give me that extra light, and then my background is going to be a nice background of a computer, a desk, and that's gonna be the look that I'm going for. Now, one important note here is when we set up our phone to our tripod, we want to use this back camera. If we use the front-facing camera, we're not gonna get as high quality video as if we were to use this back camera. And so I'll show you the difference here. This is what the front-facing camera looks like, and this is what the back-facing camera looks like. And the back camera is so much better. We definitely wanna be using that when we're shooting our videos. Step 4 is to frame up your shot. Now, basically what this means is you're changing how the camera is. You wanna make sure that it is level to the ground. You also want it to be at eye level. So right now, it's kind of underneath my chin, and we want to bring this stand up so that it is going to be right around eye level. So this is looking a lot better, but we want to make sure that this is pointing in the right direction and that it is level. Now this is looking pretty good, but I can't see what it looks like. So this is gonna take some finessing. I also wanna make sure that I am in the correct spot. I'm probably going to back up a little bit, probably gonna be sitting right around here. So I'm gonna do a test shot and see what the framing looks like. So I noticed that my head was more in the center of the frame, and I want my face at that top third level. So I pointed the camera down a little bit, and I'm gonna look at the camera and I'm gonna see again if this is looking any better. So it's kind of cutting off my hair just a little bit. So I'm going to tilt it up just a tiny bit. I'm gonna do one more test. And this is what you gotta do. When you're filming yourself and you don't have anyone else to check the camera, you gotta go back and forth, but getting the framing right is really important. All right, so now that's looking really good, but there's a few things I wanna do in the background. My computer screen is a bit too bright, so I'm gonna turn that down. And then I'm also gonna turn off that lamp in the background because it is a bit bright and overpowering. Step 5 is lighting. So I've turned on this ring light and I wanna make sure that I'm using it at full brightness because I really want myself to be brighter than the background. That's going to help me stand out from the background. Now I don't want it super bright. This light is not going to get too bright, so I'm just gonna make sure it is at the full blast, and there it is right there. And I have it set to daylight because right here, this window is also daylight, and so this is coming through. This is going to match that same color, and then kind of all around me, it looks a bit warmer because those are lamps. Now the lamps in the background have a different color temperature than daylight. These are set to about 3200 Kelvin. And so right now we're kind of getting some good contrast in color and in brightness. Step 6 is to set your exposure and your focus on your camera. Now for me, I have face tracking on the iPhone, so I don't need to worry about the focus because as I move around, it's gonna keep my face in focus. For exposure, to keep everything simple, I'm just leaving it on the camera app and I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm gonna let the iPhone decide what looks best and then I'm just gonna hit record. Now, of course, this looks different if you're using a camera. Of course, you can use the automatic settings. Now, I definitely recommend learning how to manually set exposure. For the sake of keeping this an easy tutorial, I'm gonna let the camera do all the focusing and exposing of this shot. Step 7 is to dampen any noise echo. So right now in my new office, it's a bit bare. There's not a lot of stuff in here. So there's kind of a bad echo. So I'm gonna go grab some blankets. I'm gonna lay them out on the ground, and that's gonna help absorb the echo and give us a lot better audio quality. Now the important step here is that these blankets do not end up getting into the shot. I want them to cover as much space without being inside of the frame. If you wanted to, you could also pin some of these up on the wall and that's gonna help get rid of the echo as well. So I've actually just checked my shot and I realized that the ground isn't even in my frame at all. So I'm gonna spread out these blankets a bit more and cover more of the floor. Now, if you have carpet in the place that you're filming, then you don't really need to do this step, but it's always important to be thinking about your audio because audio is, in my opinion, the most important part of your video. Speaking of audio, step 9 is to attach our mic. Now I'm using a lavalier mic, so I'm gonna plug this end into the phone and then this is going to clip onto my shirt. This is what it sounds like with the iPhone 10 audio without any microphones plugged in. Now it's not too bad and you can definitely use it if you have no other options, but for $20, we are going to use the Boya microphone and see if we can improve our audio quality just by a little bit. And this is the $20 Boya microphone plugged straight into the iPhone 10. And so it sounds a bit better now. One thing to consider here is the mic placement. So I noticed that I had to move the mic down my shirt a bit more because if it's too high and close to my mouth, then it starts to clip the audio, which just means it's too loud. And so on the iPhone and on most smartphones, you're going to have automatic audio levels. And so the phone is going to set your audio levels for you. And if it's too loud, it's gonna start clipping. So you need to do some tests, find the right mic placement, and then you're gonna get the best audio possible. If you're interested in this microphone, Sean actually covered this. You can click on the card right now to go and watch that video where he talks about this microphone that plugs straight into your camera or your smartphone, and it only costs $18.50. Before we get into the rest of the video, like this video and comment down below what kind of videos do you post on your YouTube channel. Let me know in the comments. I would love to connect with you. Let's get back to the rest of the video. Now that the mic is plugged in and I have the wire hidden into my shirt, step 9 is to do a test shot. Now when we hit record, we're looking back at everything. We're checking our framing, we're listening to the audio, we're seeing how it looks. All these things you want to check before you film your entire video, because if there's something to catch, you want to do it now rather than later. Another important step here is to talk how you're going to talk on camera so that you can really hear what it's going to sound like. It's not really going to help you if you talk quietly, but then you film and you start talking loudly, or vice versa. So do the best that you can to replicate what's going to happen when you start filming. Now when shooting on the iPhone, when you play it back to see what it looks like and to hear how it sounds, make sure you unplug the microphone. That way you're able to hear what's coming out of the iPhone. If you leave it in there, you're not gonna be able to hear anything. So unplug it and take a listen. And the final step is to just hit record. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Everything looks great, everything sounds great. So I'm gonna hit record and record my video. So I've done my 10 steps, I've hit record, and this is what everything looks like. I got my lighting in place, I have my audio in place, and it sounds and looks pretty good for recording on my smartphone. One thing to note is I had to add a little bit of extra light because the sun was starting to go down. So all I did was add a little bit of light pointing at a wall over here. And we're getting some good video all on this less than $100 setup. Really, it's a $70 setup with this microphone, the light, the stand, everything involved. If you want to see the official review of that setup, then click on the screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.